Here for another episode of Ryan's Herbs. Let's talk about weed. Yes, weed. Everyone's favorite herb, and don't lie, you know it's your favorite. You know it's your favorite. you know, the weed's your favorite herb. Everyone knows. Everyone knows. So weed, where do we start? Weed. I started smoking around when I was 18, and man, that was a great time, huh? First things first, like any other healing herb, it's a sacred medicine and needs to be treated with respect. And honestly, like any other herb, any other medicine, you should only be taking it if this is, your path, right? If it's part of your path. Probably should only be taking it when you absolutely need to. But the thing about weed is that, as anyone would tell you, once you take those mushy wushies, if you ever imbibe that sacred medicine, man, oh man, does it become psychedelic when you smoke. And oh boy, you can get some interesting visions, interesting downloads, especially by the fire, if you're so inclined, if you're part of that experience, if you have a relationship with fire, with that element. And water, too. It's almost like weed's some sort of combination. I don't know. Anyways, marijuana, the devil's lettuce, Weedies. Gotta get your Weedies. So, here's your prescription. Only, imbibe it when you absolutely need to. Or really just feeling it, Addiction, yes, it can become an addictive substance. It can actually be very addictive. It can sneak up on you. And this is something that people don't talk about a lot, but from personal experience, it's true. You can get addicted to it, man. Especially when and Crowley talks about this. Aleister Crowley, he talks about how you need to focus on the spiritual aspects of the weeds, of the sacred medicine. Focus on the sacred aspect of it, because if you get into the carnal aspects, you can get lost in your sensational reality, which can be a good experience. Not, everything has its place, but it can lead you down a path that you might not want. You might get a little addicted to eating tacos and watching funny videos, which brings up another point. There's this book called The Art of the Transference. I think McKenna talked about it. I don't know if he wrote it. I forget who did or whatever. But McKenna, who talked about how you should, who was also, he took mushrooms, and I'm sure he had the same experiences as a lot of other people with the potency aspect, and which could be brought about by the neural connections you make when you take psychedelics or whatever. New pathways to open up. But he said the best way to take it was once a week in complete darkness with as much of it as you can get. And I think that's the key. I think that really is the key to getting those spiritual experiences you might want to have. Those visions, those downloads, those insights. And what else? I know in India, the sadhus, whatever you want to call them, the holy men, some of them, they be chief keefing, dude, with those chillums. But I remember hearing about some festival they have once a year. So some people, they'll go and they'll smoke once every year. I find that very interesting, because if you take a long time off, or if you're just new to it or whatever, you manage it correctly, man, the experiences you have after a while of not smoking it, that, I guess that, we call it dopamine release, or whatever you want to talk. that really that's a good setup for a good time, a good experience, a healing, very healing. Taking it after a while, and not imbibing every day.